another very interesting issue. There are people who actually said the deployed military personnel were actually there to intimidate the people, and of course to manipulate elections. The arrest and things that, the arrest and many other brutality that we have experienced during this election might actually be a testimony to this fact. So, I mean, what's your take? What do you think of this?
I wanted to address that. It is good to provide security during an election. We know we still have a young democracy. We need security men around when we are voting. But these soldiers were partisan. It was clear. They arrested virtually all the leaders of the opposition party. I mean the party of Aregbesola. We know the army is being controlled by the federal government. The military, to me, they actually worked for the People's Democratic Party. That is the party of the federal government. It was clear, there is no doubt about that. And because of that, that election to me was not fair and fair. It was no more a level playground. Aregbesola only won because I think he delivered in terms of governance and in terms of radicalism. He could return, he could reply them back. That's why he won. I think the opposite happened in Nikiti. And that's why some people are saying, okay, it was not free and fair. But because Aregbesola won this election, we should not think that election was free and fair. It wasn't. The military was there just to support PDP. I'm quite sure of that, which is not good for our democracy. They should be there to provide security and not be partisan.
Good. Thank you for the point. I think the military definitely understands too now, because people actually are complaining about their partisanship, so to say, in election and things like that. They should not be a tool of manipulation. I mean, for elections and what have you. Yeah, that's very interesting. Of course, the talk about the Osun election goes on. In fact, I could remember watching a particular, or probably reading a particular news where the European Union observation team, visited Aregbesola, the incumbent and the winner of the election, and then advised him to actually sue the federal government because it was just too clear that there were problems and manipulations and brutality and what have you. Thank you guys. It's been very, very, very interesting, so to say, very, very interesting discussion so far. So, the second segment of our discussion will then be on the Ebola virus catastrophe. It's a catastrophe. We just can't deny that. So now let me start with you again, Diola. I don't know what to say. Maybe I just I'd like to say something on this Ebola virus issue. What's actually happening? What's happening?
Okay, from what I gathered, this virus lives with bats. These birds, bats, and I don't know the English word for this order, but they call them Flughunden in German.
Okay.
This virus is specific to West Africa. That is, it is not in the domain of Europeans to research into this kind of virus. It is our own duty to research into it because we live around these birds. It is dangerous to us more, but it is a pity that all the governments in West Africa or everywhere in Africa, they are so busy with some other things. They don't care. Now it has happened. My president is blaming, what's the name of the Liberian that came to Nigeria?
Perfect. So,
I mean, this thing has been in Liberia for months, in Guinea, and nobody cared. They felt okay, it doesn't concern us. Until it arrived to Nigeria. Now everybody is running helter-skelter. Of course, I wasn't expecting any miracle to happen. I knew the Nigerian medical system was not ready to tackle Ebola. So, to me, I just pity the innocent people that are dying, but it is obvious nobody cares about anybody who dies. A lot of people are dying, maybe due to poverty or due to any other thing. Ebola is just, okay, the West is giving Ebola attention, so everybody is running helter-skelter as if they care about the masses, but the truth is, they don't really care.
I think I agree with you, Diola, because actually, did you know Ebola has been around since the 1970s? It's not new. It's not new.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the point you discussed there. Coming to me, Taniwan, do you know President Jonathan set up a committee to actually attend to this Ebola virus matter? Actually, I heard it said it's actually like it's research committee in the name of a research committee, like the usual Nigerian way of doing things, and we just can imagine what they came up with. It's actually very unfortunate, so to say. So maybe I should just allow you to say something, on this, based on this. What's your opinion? What's your take on the whole thing?
Well, actually, I've recently been of one opinion that I don't use the term neo-colonialism or colonialism or any of those, but the truth is we are still heavily dependent on the West. Now, as I said, we have a virus in Africa, in Africa, and we have to wait on the United States to develop their vaccine.
For us,
we have to, a professor of pharmacology, what did he study, came up with his own hypothesis that cola nut can cure.
Are you talking about Professor Morris?
Yes.
That's a very interesting.
So even with the committee, it's just we don't really have, we don't want to do anything. It's just, and the problem is we keep thinking Ebola is far, but Ebola is not far. I schooled in OAU, and I know OAU has the highest concentration of bats in the, is it highest or second highest in the world? And I know if people, I'm so sure of it, it's bats. And Nigerians, being who they are, if people continue to eat bats, so you just need just an Ebola victim to visit Ife, and the plague continues, and you don't have security, you don't have safety measures. You keep depending on. Why can't we start funding research or researches on these fields? Really, why should the bad words? I was recently arguing about we post-colonial countries being able to loan words to the English or contribute words to the English language. And it's rather unfortunate that it's the bad words that we keep loaning to the English language. Words like kwashiorkor or Ebola. So why can't we just stand up, fund research? If President Jonathan eats with 1 billion naira a year, if we should spend 500 million out of that on research and all those things. Those things will even bring more to our economy, because we are selling now to the world, we are exporting. Most of these Western nations, it's not because they are inherently great. No, it's because they have other markets which they can sell to. And that's part of what our problems have been. So, really, as far as Ebola is concerned, really, I don't want to think much about it. Really. It's like
saying it is good to apply a medicine when it's still useful.
Yeah.
And that means doing it at the right time, because actually research, it's very, very important. It's not an overnight thing. Yeah. So immediately when I saw President announce that he has earmarked a particular amount of money, I immediately knew this is a fact.
Yeah.
And come to think of it, within a few days, these people came up, and what do we have? They have this sanitizer. For crying out loud, a sanitizer, it's actually for bacteria. Of course.
It sells for 1,500.
For bacteria, not for killing any virus. It's trying to kill no virus. I think the people should know sanitizers. It's good. You sanitize your hands, whatever you want to do, but it's actually not meant for Ebola virus. It's clear. It can't help. So, and that brings me to another issue.
Yeah.
The president actually referred to Patrick Sawyer as a crazy man.
Yeah, I read it too.
It's not impossible the guy was crazy or what I mean. But in a way, I think somebody said something about resignation, and that kind of response showed. Of course, we know that there is no medication presently, but I think it showed the president actually resigned to faith. Like there's nothing he can do. I use this kind of word to qualify Patrick Sawyer. Yeah. What would have been done to prevent Patrick Sawyer from coming to the country? And I think that is what he should have looked into doing. He didn't do it. I don't know. Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, thank you.
To this matter?
In Germany, all over the press, everything they are talking about is what are the chances of Ebola coming to Europe? Africa is so far from Germany, but they don't think, okay, it's over there, it cannot affect us. They are thinking already, is it possible that there is an outbreak in Europe? And they are preparing for it, they are ready. Now, back to West Africa. Ebola has been in Liberia. interested in screening anybody in our airport, and this man just came in free. And now we have Ebola in Nigeria. And my president is saying, perhaps the man was crazy. I think the president was carried away by his emotion. But to me, I can't blame Sawyer. I will blame the government. Whether we have Ebola in Nigeria, I don't know. Anybody could have come in with Ebola. Yeah. But again, I'm not even concerned with Ebola. My question comes back to this question of human rights. There is no human rights in Nigeria. This government doesn't care whether people eat, whether they have shelter, whether they have employment. Health is the last thing
they think about.
No, so how, they are not thinking about food. This is what I mean. They're not thinking about food. They don't care if these people die. So, to me, health is like luxury to them. It's out of their plan. What they should be working for should be, okay, how to make good job for people, how to make sure people eat good food, transport, infrastructure. They are not doing this. So do you expect them to provide good health? Yeah. You shouldn't expect them to do that. So the president was just, I don't think he should resign. He cannot do more than that. So when I read it, I just laughed. I wasn't shocked. He needs to say something. And he has said what he thinks is logical.
I actually meant, he calling Sawyer a madman, like a sign of resignation, like, well, what can we do? It's just like, well...
I've told you, he has no plan. He has no plan. So what do you expect him to say? He has no plan. It's just like, okay, Sawyer, he must be a madman. You shouldn't have come to Nigeria. Because now you have come to Nigeria, we have problems in Nigeria. He has no plan.
Yeah, so in a way, I think the problem is actually, it's not, of course, it's Ebola, but it's actually beyond Ebola. Yes. It's a decade-long problem. It's corruption. It's what have you? So many things.
Yeah. I'm sorry to cut in. We have universities. They claim they are doing virology, but this is a virus they cannot tackle. This is not a foreign virus. This is a virus that exists in West Africa, and they can't tackle that. So what are they doing there exactly? So it's not about Ebola. It's more like that. It's about the whole system.
Yeah. Well, we can only call on God. I mean, that's what we know in West Africa. We can only call on God. What do you think? You have to call on God to rescue us and then help us in this.
For our number one citizens of design, really, apart from his economic reserves, I also think it's really an unfortunate thing that President Jonathan is our president, because there are a lot of responsibilities we keep shifting. We keep shifting to God, we keep shifting to faith, we keep shifting to good luck. So,
sorry for cutting you short. I think this is like very common to this president. This blame game. You blame this, you blame that. Instead of working, you just keep on blaming people, like trying to apportion the blame. And because of doing that, that's been going for months and months and months and months. And he has done that again, this Ebola issue, by calling this guy a crazy person. Good, crazy, man, whatever. But that's actually not what is needed. Yeah, please try to do what you said. Sorry for cutting you short.
So, really, we keep praying, because as it is, the US is not going to give us the vaccine.
Oh, well, the WHO, that's the World Health Organization, is like trying to tell them, just do something.
And who is WHO? WHO is America. WHO is France. WHO is...
I'm sorry to cut in. The issue of God, I think God is busy. So, because Nigerians, they pray a lot. Yeah. There are a lot of cases, a lot of files in front of this God, if he exists.
Well, that's another issue.
So we should come back to tackle. Yeah, I'm not going to that. But we should come back to tackle our problem and leave this God alone. Please, leave him alone. Let us solve our problems.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's been very interesting with you guys for the past, half an hour. Yeah. So we have talked about the Australian election, and then eventually we talked about Ebola too. I really want to say a very big thank you to both of you, to Biola and
thank you so much for the invitation.
It's my pleasure, and I hope you enjoy it, viewers, and that's just Art Nigeria anyway. So we want to talk about just anything. We want to push the debate forward. We just want to, make people talk about just anything. The purpose is just to push the conversation forward and then to to see progress coming there. So that's just anybody can do it, and you know, it's just nice having around to watch the conversation. Yeah, thank you, and till next time, I would say. So we're live in Bayreuth. You know, the video is done in Bayreuth in the university here, and Kelechi is our camera lead. Thank you, Kelechi, for doing that. Don't forget the and then we have
director of engineering.
Yeah, please, Rufin, come. Yeah, she's been very great. You know, helping Kelechi doing the work. Yeah, thank you. So that's our here. Yeah. Okay. So till next time. Bye bye.